Good afternoon. I'd like to call to order the Pierce County Council. Today is April 8th, 2025. The time is 3:01. If the clerk could please call the roll.
Councilmember Yambe?
Here.
Councilmember Krueger?
Here.
Councilmember Denson?
Here.
Councilmember Herrera? Councilmember Morel?
Here.
Councilmember Ayala?
Here.
Councilmember Hitchin?
Here.
You have 6 members present.
With 6 members, we do have a quorum. That brings us to our Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Today's moment of silence will be held in honor of the life of Stan Cross. Stan served for 32 years with the Puyallup School District as a teacher, coach, principal, and director. Stan was active and involved in the community and will be remembered for his abundance of compassion and loyalty and dedication to his students and to parks. If you're not familiar with Cross Park, the Cross family was one of the instrumental, and I'm going to call driving forces behind getting that park, hence it being called Cross Park. So please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, led by Councilmember Denson, followed by a moment of silence dedicated to the life and service of Stan Cross, and then we will have our land acknowledgement. Councilmember Denson.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We acknowledge that we are on the traditional homelands of the Coast Salish tribes. Coast Salish people have lived on and stewarded these lands since time immemorial and continue to do so today. We recognize that this land acknowledgement is one small step towards true allyship, and we commit to uplifting the voices, experiences, and histories of the indigenous people of this land.
We are now at section 4 of our agenda, which is the approval of our agenda. So is there any changes to our regular agenda? Seeing no objection, the agenda is approved. On today's council agenda, there'll be multiple opportunities for public comment. During the consent agenda, you may provide comment on any final action item. This does not include items that are for scheduling. And on today's consent agenda, this includes 1 set of minutes for approval and 2 appointment resolutions and 3 grant applications for a final hearing. During section 8 of the agenda, we will take public comment on each resolution individually. And finally, under community forum, there'll be an opportunity to address the council on any topic that is allowed under our rules. For information on the rules for participation, please review the bottom of page 1 of this agenda. We're now in section 5, which is our consent agenda. Does any member wish to have an item pulled from the consent agenda?
I do.
Councilmember Denson?
Thank you, Chair. I move approval of the consent agenda as amended, moving items C2A and C2B to section 8.
Is there a second? It's been moved and seconded that we approve the consent agenda with the following items moved to section 8, C2A and C2B. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, I'm going to open this up for a public hearing. Is there any member of the public that would like to speak on approving our consent agenda? Just the consent agenda. Seeing no one come to the podium, can we go online?
Yes, Madam Chair. For any members of the public who should provide comments on any final action items, press the raise hand icon in Zoom or *9 on your telephone keypad. And Madam Chair, I see no hands.
With no hands raised, we will bring that back before the council. Can we call the roll on the consent agenda?
Councilmember Morel?
Aye.
Councilmember Denson?
Aye.
Councilmember Krueger?
Aye.
Councilmember Ayala?
Aye.
Councilmember Yambe?
Aye.
Councilmember Hitchin?
Aye.
You have 6 ayes and 0 nays.
With 6 ayes and 0 nays, the consent agenda is adopted. That brings us to section 6, which is messages from the executive, which there are none, and Section 7, which is proclamations, recognitions, and awards. Our proclamation today is proclaiming April 7th through the 13th as Food Waste Prevention Week in Pierce County. I'd like to invite Kelly Fremont from Good Roots Operations Director, Jeremy Blick, I tried. Jeremy Works, okay. From Cascadia Produce, who's going to tell us all how to say his last name. Eliza Charbonnet as the lead chef from the Pierce County Skills Center Culinary Department to come to the podium. And then if there's anyone else that's here for that, you're welcome to surround them and just be there in support. So we'll have those three come to the podium while Councilmember Morell reads this into the record.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It is my privilege to read the proclamation of the Pierce County Council and Executive proclaiming April 7th through the 13th of 2025 as Food Waste Prevention Week in Pierce County, Washington. Whereas in the United States, approximately 40% of all food grown and produced is never eaten, with nearly 60 million tons discarded, or about 325 pounds of food per person. And whereas Washington State residents went to food banks 13.3 million times in 2024, which equates to 1 in 4 people lacking consistent access to nutritious food in Pierce County. 1 in 10 residents report some level of food insecurity. And whereas food in landfills decompose slowly, releasing methane gas, contributing to climate change, reducing food waste is an important personal action that community members can take to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and safeguard critical natural resources. Pierce County's Sustainability 2030 plan targets reducing food waste as a key action to reduce the county's emissions. And whereas Harvest Pierce County, a Pierce County Conservation District program, has led Pierce County's Gleaming project since 2023, engaging community members in harvesting surplus produce from farms, orchards, backyard fruit trees to reduce food waste and provide fresh food to those in need. And whereas feeding feasible fast, say that 3 times, rescues and redistributes bulk unsold fresh food from grocery stores and distributors operating 24 hours freestanding food hubs that hold up to 4 tons of food, ensuring continuous access for at-risk population while diverting over 1,059,000 tons of fresh food from landfills. And whereas Good Roots Northwest addresses food access barriers by installing food lockers in rural communities, Bates Technical College Health Campus and Pierce College leverage technology to create sustainable food sources while promoting health through the innovative initiatives, like the Market Healthy Youth, Power Packs, and Farm to Fork supply chain. And whereas Cascadia Produce rescues surplus and wholesale rejected food using its cold storage warehouse, recovering multi-pallet truckloads of produce 24/7 for low-cost sales or donation to food security organizations and businesses in Pierce County and beyond. And whereas Nourish Pierce County, with support from food rescue donations and community partners, served 66,807 unique guests in 2024, distributing 4.9 million pounds of food, while also working with local pig farmers to repurpose food unfit for human consumption as animal feed. And whereas Eloise Cooking Pot Food Bank rescues food weekly from over 30 local grocery and retail stores, and partners with 20 BIPOC farmers supporting sustainable agriculture and equity and food access, ensuring that surplus, high-quality food and produce is redirected from landfills to families in need. And whereas wasting food is expensive, every year Americans lose more than $218 billion on wasted food, an equivalent of 130 billion meals. And whereas we can minimize food waste by planning our meals ahead of time, using a list to purchase groceries, and utilizing resources found at www.piercecountylaw.gov/food waste. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Pierce County Council and Executive that April 7th through the 13th, 2025 is Food Waste Prevention Week in Pierce County, Washington. We encourage all residents to commit to reducing food waste. Thank you.
Well, thank you all for being here. And for those that can't see, there's quite a crowd in here that are all excited to talk about how we reduce food waste. So
I'll begin.
Start. Yeah.
Good afternoon, council members, and thank you for the opportunity to be here today. My name is Chef Eliza Charbonneau, and I am the Pierce County Skills Center Culinary Arts Program Director. As both a chef and an educator, I'm proud to share how your support has helped us take on two big challenges, food waste and food insecurity, and how we've turned them into real opportunities for learning, dignity, and community health. Each week, our program rescues hundreds of pounds of local food that might otherwise go to waste. Things like surplus produce and dairy, bulk frozen proteins, and commercially packaged goods. Instead of seeing these products as trash or instead of seeing these products as trash or a challenge to process, we see it as a valuable potential. With this food, we have created chef-prepared meals that are focused on nutrients and flavor, and with the help of Good Roots Northwest and their donors, we're able to get these meals straight into the homes of local Pierce County families. Your investment in this vision has made a huge difference in how far we can take this work. With additional culinary arts staff, we've doubled our meal production for the food bank without sacrificing safety or quality. We've been able to upgrade our kitchen gear and equipment with packaging and large quantity systems, which means we're making meals that not only nourish, but hold up beautifully when frozen and reheated. We've also been able to increase the number of students enrolled in our program, giving more young people real-world, purpose-driven experiences in culinary arts and community services. Over the last year, we've produced thousands of ready-to-heat meals, all distributed through Good Roots Northwest and their local locker network. Over the past 4 years, we've trained over 150 students, giving them kitchen skills, teaching them resourcefulness, and a hands-on look at how food can be a force for good. Why does this matter? Because of this synergistic program, families don't get a box of food anymore. They get a complete, nourishing meal. Students don't just learn how to cook, they learn how to lead, how to care, and how to make systems better for our communities. As we mark Food Waste Reduction Week, I want to emphasize, this work is about more than just meals. We're keeping good food out of the landfill and putting it back on the tables of human beings who need it. We're showing that reducing waste can be powerful, practical, and personal. Thank you again for believing in this vision. With your continued support, we're feeding families, reducing waste, and building a more connected and resilient Pierce County. Thank you very much.
Two others. Anyone else like to speak?
Good afternoon. My name is Kelly Fremont, and I'm the Operations Director at Good Roots Northwest. And I hope I can offer you a unique perspective as a former educator who is now working as an Operations Director at a food bank. It is my sincere pleasure to partner with the Pierce County Skills Center and the Culinary Arts Program to bring solutions to food insecurity to Pierce County. I can think of 3 things that make this a unique program. You heard some of them in what Eliza had to say today. One of the things that's important here, again, as a former educator, is to know that the students in the culinary arts program are learning career readiness skills. If they choose to take college pathways forward, they're learning those things as a result of their leadership in the program. Another thing that's a benefit because of this program, this partnership, is the fact that students and instructors have the opportunity to engage in nonprofit work in their communities and understand from an empathetic point of view what it's like to work with their neighbors as they address problems like food insecurity. And then, of course, the reason that brings us all together today is the fact that this work is reducing food waste and preventing food waste in Pierce County. And as an example, to make it more clear how that works with partnerships like Jeremy and with Eliza, is that Jeremy, who is an aggregator, I choose to use that word, and distributor of food in this region, he, for example, becomes aware of something. In fact, I got a text, this is last year, from Jeremy saying that he was aware of some meat that had reached the last mile in terms of distribution, and it didn't have a place to go. It was short dated at that point, and that's when Jeremy is able to step in and capture that food as opposed to having it go to waste. Sent me a text that creates a chain of events that includes contacting Eliza to let her know what I have, which sets up a logistics sequence that includes delivering the ingredients out to their facility in Spanaway, and the students then designing what they will do with that food. And of course, you heard the part about distributing back through customers in East Pierce County. So it's just been a great pleasure of mine to be transitioning from one career in education to this other career where I'm still seeing students benefit from the goodness of the community, while at the same time expanding into food bank work, and then what brings us here today is the food waste prevention. So thank you for the opportunity to be here today. One of the things that I will do, if Jeremy, if you had anything to say, is I'm going to hand out to each of you, this is a cookbook that's the result of the partnership with the students in the Skills Center. And they featured ingredients that were available to them because of what we were able to provide from our Good Roots inventory, designed recipes, photographed, right? Yep. Designed the photo shoots for the recipes. Very often the recipes are written up with narratives about why students selected them, very personal stories about why they selected the things that are here. And then at the very end, if you'll take a moment to read some of the reflections about the students' experience creating the food and also visiting Good Roots, our market location, to learn what that's like and to serve directly. So I'll hand these out if Jeremy has something he wanted to add, or others.
Hello, Pierce County Council. My name is Jeremy Vrablik.
Thank you.
And I own Cascadia Produce, and as you can see from what has been said from the last two people here, it is really a collaborative social enterprise that we are working together on. This is about identifying problems in our food systems and finding thoughtful ways in which we can mitigate those losses by us being able to receive truckloads in. In fact, today we received in a little over 40,000 pounds of product that some of it was slated straight to go to the dump because one of the shippers that I work with didn't know what to do with it. Another one was because a truck was delivering to one of the retail distributors today, and the pallet tipped over and the retailer refused that, and the driver just wanted to get it off their truck. So it's simple things like this where we can all band together, from me with a warehouse to Good Roots with the locker, with the market, to the Skills Center being able to produce meals and taking what everyone else would otherwise see as waste and recognizing the value in it. But not only recognize the value in the products that we're taking in, but recognizing the value in the people that grew that product, the people that manufactured the product, the people that transported that product, that were involved in the shipping of it. All of those aspects involve making sure that we're looking at the entire view of it, and ensuring that we are giving them due respect in their jobs, and also giving that food due respect as what it represents, which is the possibility. So I thank you for recognizing Food Waste Prevention Week, and we'll continue to do this work.
Thank you very much. Go quick. Really quick, because we got, so you want to go and then go and introduce yourself for the record, because we didn't have you on the list, though I know both of you, so.
Good afternoon, Council. My name is Angel Swanson, and I am Executive Director of Feeding Feasible Feasts. We are a 501c3 nonprofit that operates within 5 counties. Primarily, our birth spot is here in Pierce County, and that's where our home offices are. We began this endeavor looking at rescued foods. At the very top of COVID, we began that work. We began to develop programs around that work, and so at this point, we have 7 different distinguished, easily distinguishable programs that rotate around serving our communities. We're really honored to be part of this proclamation because the folks up here are astounding in the work that they do. We believe that no one lies about being hungry. That's our tagline. When someone comes up to you and asks you for food or money for food, you can almost 100% be guaranteed that they're looking for food. They're not looking to fund some other endeavor. With the rescue foods that we are able to receive and get, we're in deep partnership with retail grocery and independent grocers. I believe this month, we actually have about 16 routes that we run throughout the week. I believe in the month of January, and Nick, correct me if I'm wrong, in the month of January, on one route, we were able to rescue 55,000 pounds of rescued foods. These foods are foods that, one of the great stories that I like to hear is when a mom that I ran into who picks up food from one of our food hubs said, I grabbed a bunch of things to take home and I took them and I put them in my refrigerator when I got home. And these things, by the way, are things that you would find in a grocery store in a perishable department. And she said, and my neighbors came by, and when I said, they asked for a bottled water, and I said, look in the fridge, and they said, oh my God, how did you buy all of this? This is beautiful. The foods that we receive from these grocery endeavors and this rescue are not foods that look secondhand or spoiled. These are beautiful, beautiful food that would normally just get tossed into the landfill. We feel very fortunate to be part of that system, part of the food system in that way. When we pick this food up, it never goes to our warehouse, ever. It stays in the truck, and it either goes into one of our mini food hubs, or it goes directly to a social service agency that can distribute that food to the participants they already have attending. So if it's a senior center or a domestic violence agency, they're receiving foods directly from us that they can give to their participants the same day. So there's no lag in time. This food is still, some of the larger grocers, we actually have a small quiet agreement that some of these foods can be pulled one day before the best by date, which gives us that day for distribution, the best by date plus the expiration date, which are 2 different dates. So in doing this work, we've discovered a lot of things. That food waste is not necessary. It isn't something that needs to happen. That in working with other agencies, we're partnered with several agencies, that we can overcome all of these obstacles, not necessarily solve food insecurity, but we can sure make a dent in it. I want to include a few things about us in particular. We concentrate on food insecurity, no question, but we also concentrate on the exacerbating factors, right? We provide commodity relief to our folks. In Pierce County alone, we're well entrenched in 2 school districts. One of them, the Bethel School District, where we got to poll culinary arts students. Why do you want to take culinary arts? And several of them said, because I want to be able to go home and basically boil an egg. And while that program for those who really want to be chefs is a wonderful program, it was eye-opening to hear that from some of the students. We work within, I think, almost all of the ECAP Head Start programs where we provide food for them at least once a week. And they all have access to food hubs. The food hubs, by the way, are 24/7 access on demand. They are never not available. Rain or shine, they're filled. And they're filled to the brim as best as we can with whatever we have to offer. Our other programs that support these efforts, how to garden, how to preserve food. You get all this wonderful food and you can't eat it all in one day. How do you preserve it? Is it best to freeze it or dry it? We offer an ear oftentimes during those classes to add individualized support. So coming up here, in the last 2 weeks, we've been fortunate to host events. We've done at least one here in Pierce County at Farm 12, where we invited Marilyn Strickland, WSU, and others to be part of a roundtable where we had it moderated and questions were asked. How do we do what we can do? And at that time, that was when the Farm Bill was failing. And we were very concerned about WIC and SNAP funding. Very concerned. So we were able to have that conversation with all of our partners in this industry. They were all invited. We just had one, Unmasking Community Food Insecurities. And we did the first one at King County. We'll do one here. And they feature Doug Baldwin will come. He's one of our Seahawks. He will come and talk a bit about the work that his agencies do. He has nonprofit agencies that lean into this work. We'll have WSU come in and talk about the data that they've collected, that we're seeing, and how these numbers are skyrocketing. And then we're going to talk about the best ways as an industry to come together and address these upcoming horrible things that we see coming, right? With slashes of $1 billion across our efforts, with the wrestling at the state level of the $93 million and how that's going to be allocated for food insecurity. All of these things can be discussed. We all have ideas. And in meeting and coming together during those events, that's what we do. We pull people together so we can talk and figure this out and act as a community. Lastly, we do town halls. And so if any of you would be interested in addressing your constituents, we host them. We just recently had one with Adam Smith, Congressman Adam Smith. We had one with Marilyn Strickland. We have had them with, trying to think who was another really good one. That they're all really good, I shouldn't say that. So anyway, but you would be invited to do so. We would love to make sure that ideas are being shared and all heard, and that we're supporting this industry every way we can. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll try to summarize what I was going to say. So since our humble beginnings, I'm here representing the Pierce Conservation District. My department is urban agriculture with Harvest Pierce County, and I am the manager of the Pierce County Gleaning Project. So maybe our numbers won't be as impressive because what we're doing is going to people's backyards and rescuing the fruit off of their trees and partnering with local farmers. And since our inception, we've rescued about 500,000 pounds of food for the betterment of our communities, including partnering with the county to go to a U-Pick blueberry farm, and partnering with the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife to get culled salmon. But more impressive than the amount of food that we have saved from waste has been the meaning that those who have led this program before me have found in doing this work, and the ways in which they place that meaning into action. From creating and leading cooperative vegetable gardening programs to increasing the health of fruit-bearing plants in our collective county orchard, And of course, feeding people and creating stronger bonds between neighbors in our communities. Each person who has led the Gleaning Project before me has done so with immense passion. Speaking for myself, since beginning this work, I found that over the course of any given day, my heart both breaks to see the amount of food waste that our current systems create and is restored, seeing all the amazing, caring people and organizations, some present in this room today, working to counteract the harm and indignity that is done by such waste. While getting fresh produce to hunger relief organizations is still our #1 priority, my contribution to my organization has been creating the closed loop community program, in which food waste that is not suitable for hunger relief efforts due to pest or disease damage is alchemized into value-added products. Within this system, we are attempting to close the valve to get another avenue for food waste. Within the system, we are bolstering the efforts and revenue potential of a growing list of small local businesses. We are cutting emissions that contribute to climate catastrophe by saving those businesses from having to purchase produce from faraway places to make their products or feed their animals. We are giving volunteers, seasonal staff, and other collaborators a sense of purpose. I stand before all of you members of the Pierce County Council with gratitude for the adoption of this proclamation and for the opportunity to represent my organization today. I do ask that you please uphold this proclamation in real and meaningful ways, and for you all to find purpose in supporting the work we find purpose in. By upholding and funding the work we do, of course, but also, and I speak now as a private citizen and not on behalf of my organization, by protecting small-scale farms and farm workers, regardless of their immigration status, such as farm worker activist and union leader Alfredo Juarez Zeferino, who is currently being detained in our county. We cannot speak about the spoilage of food in the fields or in our supermarkets without also speaking up about the spoilage created by poor working conditions and the threat of detainment and deportation of those tending to those fields. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Do any of my colleagues have something they'd like to say on behalf of this, and then we'll take a photo? Councilmember Yambe.
First of all, I want to thank my esteemed colleague from District 1 for bringing this item before us. I think it is extremely worthwhile and a very important topic that affects everybody across the county. I just so happened to have thought that I would be late here because I was rushing back from a site visit with Eloise's kitchen with Andrea Blue, who was showing me the incredible work in the District 5 and around the surrounding communities that they're doing to join in with the work that each of you and your organizations are doing. And so I want to thank you for bringing this, showing up, and just reminding us how it's incumbent on each of us to do our little part to ensure that in the greatest nation on earth that we don't have people who are hungry or going without food, because it's related to all these different things and can cause other issues if we don't address them. And so thank you for bringing this, and thank you for sponsoring this proclamation, Councilmember Morrell.
Thank you for the comments. Councilmember Morrell.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Appreciate the comments of my colleague, but this work has more than preceded my work here at the council. I appreciate my colleagues for willing to invest in Pierce County, both within the food system and within the education system. Sometimes it's a roll of the dice when we do fund projects, and I must say that the track record that this council has been very good, very wise investments of taxpayers' dollars, and I greatly appreciate my colleagues for doing that. I think there again, it was highlighted that this is a whole food chain issue that we have to address and look at. It's from the growers to the shippers to the wholesalers to our markets. And what I have learned with working and watching Cascadia Produce and kind of how they work within that food chain, I was never aware that you could actually, there were people that would broker foods out there that had been rejected by Costco, where Fred Meyer, whoever, just because a pallet was damaged or there was one speck on one pepper, and they would reject the whole load. And the trucker who was transporting that from the grower would say, I got to go get my next load. The quickest way to handle that is to go to the dump and dump it. And, you know, he gets paid, but there again, the grower doesn't get paid. So for Cascadia to come in there and say, okay, we will purchase that and we will distribute it, is a way that I think merging private enterprise with nonprofit in a social enterprise program is the future of what we're going to look at. So everyone gets involved in saving food and rescuing food, as it was stated earlier. So I think this is a way that we help protect both small, medium, and large commercial farmers in Pierce County, which is a dying breed out there. So I want to acknowledge Ryan Dix, the work that he has done as director of Pierce County Solid Waste, sitting in the back row there, being silent, but knowing that you're here, and then the staff. You know, I got this cute little sticker that with a catchy little phrase that says, "PISA, remember to compost your food," and got educated on why they don't take pizza boxes. But you know, I appreciate the work that they do out in the community to educate the community on what's best. And I think this is all a holistic approach, that everyone has a role to play. We all need to get on the same page and be headed in the same direction and not siloed out. So I appreciate all the innovators in the room. And, you know, we're basically here to try and solve an age-old problem of food insecurity. And I think we have the resources, we have the team to do it. It's just, okay, let's move it forward. So thank you to my colleagues for supporting this proclamation. And other than that, thank you for all the work that you do to make our communities more healthier and better. Thank you.
Thank you for bringing this forward. I will just acknowledge and thank the many, many cogs in this wheel that we are trying to solve. We have all these different people who engage and try and, I have a fruit tree, I can't harvest it, but I don't want the fruit to go to waste. What do? I have a tipped over truck that has bruised apples that nobody's going to buy, but they're still good. Can we turn them into applesauce? And so we are coming up with solutions that only do better things for us as a county. They're feeding young people, old people, and everyone in between. They're teaching youth how to manage farms, pick food, grow food, and actually cook the food at the end. And they're feeding people really high quality, good food. So I'm looking forward to trying some of these recipes in here. We're going to try and organize a photo. We're going to make sure the 3, 4, 5 agencies, I may be mailing one of you a proclamation, but we'll get you up here and then we'll kind of do a second row towards the front here. So we'll try and organize that, JR. Should we hold our cookbooks?
Everyone else just in the front.
Let's hold our cookbooks. You making dinner for us tomorrow? Yeah. So we're gonna have.
And then like, who was the four you said?
Yeah.
The 4?
Yeah.
See you in the middle, speakers in the middle here.
Have the three of you come here, and then we'll kind of sandwich. Okay. And I only have 4.
All right, so if
Okay.
you want to center into the seal, we can get
We're gonna
this.
go this way, just a little, and then we're gonna ask you to because it's a better picture. We're gonna hold our. Dave, can I hold your book? Okay, I gotta be somewhere. Okay. I got it.
Can we get a little bit tighter, please? There we go. All right, 3, 2. Thank you.
Nothing matters. 3, 2, 27. Thanks for being here. Thank you so much. Thank you. Say your last name for me. Really Blake. Really Blake. Okay, I was making it more complicated than it was.
Thank you, Jenny, for sneaking in so many speakers. Excited group. Thank you.
Well, and I saw my trying to research them online. Okay. So we are going to return to our Section 8. We pulled 2 items off our consent agenda. We're going to come back to those after. So if you're here for appointment, we're going to come back to those. But we're going to go to Section 8 and look at Resolution 2025-130. Councilmember Krueger, are you ready to make a motion on this?
On 130? Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to move for adoption R 2025-130.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt R 2025-130. Can the clerk please read?
Proposal number R 2025-130, a resolution of the Pierce County Council confirming Julie DeMuth as Director of the Finance Department.
Thank you. And we're going to turn this over to Ms. Long to introduce.
Thank you, and good afternoon. The Pierce County Charter at Section 3.30 provides that except for positions filled by election, the executive shall appoint the chief officer of each executive department, and the appointments by the executive shall be subject to confirmation by a majority of the council. The Finance Department was created by ordinance of the council, and its functions and duties are codified at Section 206010 of the County Code. The qualifications for directors generally are set forth in the County Code at Section 207010A, and those specific to the finance director are set forth at subsection E of that section, and those are provided to you in my staff report. The County Code also provides that the procedures for confirming the appointments of chief officers of executive departments, and it provides that every appointment by the executive of a chief officer of an executive department shall be in the form of a resolution and shall be reviewed by the appropriate council standing committee. The code further provides that the committee may require each appointee referred to it for consideration to provide to complete a standard questionnaire to be used to ascertain the appointee's general background and qualifications. That questionnaire is provided in your materials in addition to resume, application, and even more materials supporting the candidate. Any hearing on such executive appointment shall be in a meeting open to the public. The executive today has appointed Julie DeMuth as the Director of the Finance Department, and that appointment is subject to confirmation by the council this afternoon. This proposal was heard in the Rules and Operations Committee on March 31st and received a due pass recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Mr. Executive, thank you for being here.
Well, good afternoon, Chair Hitchin and members of the council. It's great to be here. You've set a new expectation every time I come. I would love gifts like all of you. Thank you for the gift. It's great to see you this afternoon. I'm absolutely quite excited to present to you my second department director for your consideration of confirmation by the council. I'm thrilled to present to you Julie DeMuth for your confirmation. We had 22 highly qualified applicants for the position of director of the finance department. And Julie DeMuth rose to the very top of that list of 22. My team led a multi-step review and interview process that included internal staff teams, customers of the finance department, external partners, and others. And I think you all, many of you have worked with Julie for a long time. I think you would agree with me that Julie DeMuth is eminently qualified. Julie understands our operating environment in Pierce County. She is smart, she's resourceful, she's solution-oriented. She's the kind of visionary and forward-thinking leader that we need here in Pierce County. You know, many of you know Julie DeMuth as the Assistant Director for Budget and Performance Management, and you've got to be briefed by her many times, some of you many times, and you know her ability to communicate complicated things to decision makers and to the public. But she has many, many other skills that she has developed, both in her time in the private sector and her time as she's rose through the ranks in the finance department, in addition to the skills that you know of in budget and performance management. Julie DeMuth has leveraged technology time and again to bring solutions and applications throughout her career to enhance workflow efficiency, to improve operational management, and to streamline processes for those of us in public service and thereby the public. For example, Julie played a lead role in implementing Workday. This is the county's enterprise resource planning system, which really has transformed how we do so much of our administrative processes here, from financial transactions to payroll and human resource management and contract management, all managed through Workday. It was a big deal to implement this throughout the enterprise, and Julie led that. That's just one example of using technology to improve systems. Julie has private sector experience where she brings this experience of technology solutions to drive efficiencies, streamlining processes, and reducing costs. Julie's committed to transparency and public engagement, something that's really important to me and I know important to you. Transparency and public engagement in financial decision-making, as evidenced by her leading of initiatives such as the development of Open Pierce County. Open Pierce County provides decision makers and residents with easy access to county financial data, budget reports, and performance metrics so that we can all be very transparent about what our goals are and what our performance measures are. Through this work, she led the way in increasing public trust, improve government accountability, and enhancing our fiscal stewardship. Julie was recognized for much of her work in her time about bringing public transparency to bear. One of the more notable and more recent public recognitions she received was in 2021. She received the Tyler Public Sector Excellence Award for using data to drive better outcomes with the work with CARES Act funding. Julie's fully prepared to lead a very diverse group of leaders doing essential work to support every department and the entire Pierce County enterprise, including accounting, revenue administration, budget and grant management, treasury, internal auditing, information technology, risk management, procurement, fleet services, and general services. We often think of finance as the budget work, and that's the very forward-facing work, and certainly much of the work that the council gets to engage in every day. But there are about 220 professionals that are working behind the scenes to make the entire Pierce County government work. Like, all these different functions that I just mentioned that actually allows all of us to do our day-to-day work. And Julie has the background and experience to lead this very diverse team that enables all of the essential public services to happen throughout Pierce County. We have a lot of work in front of us to prepare for uncertain financial times, to align our budget to our revenues, and to allow our budget to really fulfill our most essential public services, and to allow us to make progress on our most pressing challenges. Julie DeMuth and her leadership will be playing an essential role as we move Pierce County forward together. I'm pleased to present to you Ms. Julie DeMuth for confirmation to the role of Finance Director. She's now prepared to more fully introduce herself to you and to the rest of our community and to take your questions. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. Ms. DeMuth.
Good afternoon, Chair, Council members.
I think last time I didn't give people enough time to introduce themselves, so we got quite the resume. But if you'd like to just introduce yourself to anyone who's tuning in and the rest of us.
Sure. My name's Julie DeMuth. I've been with Pierce County for a little over 12 years, I believe now, all within the finance department in varying roles, primarily focused on developing the county's budget, administering it, and monitoring it. Also played a large role in our transparency and accountability efforts, developing Open Pierce County and making information available to the public. I have a master's in public administration. I've spent, as mentioned, several years in the private sector as well, and a few years within the nonprofit sector before coming to the county.
Thank you. Well, I will look to my colleagues to see if we have any questions. And someone needs to ask a question. Councilmember Ayala.
Thank you, Chair. It's not a question, though.
Okay.
I do want to say, as part of my onboarding process, I did tour your offices, and the amount of granular level, without prepping a presentation, that Ms. DeMuth was able to share was pretty impressive, and to really ensure that we are having some transparent dashboards around where our funding goes to and how our funding is used to support community is incredibly impressive. So thank you so much for what you've done, and thank you for showing me and making my process a little easier.
Thank you for the comments. We'll go to Councilmember Yambe.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have a similar experience. Coming from the municipal government side of things, and just being here, short time, and looking at the executive's recommendations for staff, I'm trying very hard to find, the things that might have been missed, or maybe a criticism that I can find, just to look at and examine. But again, this is the second candidate that has come forward for confirmation. I have to say I cannot find anything. And Ms. DeMuth has an ability to tell stories of what numbers represent. And for a finance person, that's very difficult, because oftentimes you'll have numbers people speak in numbers, and they'll say, well, if you look at the numbers, but with Julie, she can tell you the story behind it and what it means and what those things represent. And it makes people who are not linear, or people who are looking at it from a different angle, it gives you confidence, and it gives you a better understanding of what impacts that might have and what it means. So it's not just numbers on a page. It represents people, it represents resources, it represents ability to and opportunities to do things, or challenges or limitations. And so you have that ability to make those things meaning and accessible and understandable on those dashboards, have made it tremendously helpful for the public to be able to access those informations and tools without having to be experts in different programming and different knowledge of numbers either. So just on those things alone, and the fact that you are I can say confidently you are a dedicated professional who cares greatly about the work that you do, and it shows. And so I have 100% confidence that you will help lead Pierce County into the next very important years. And I think I have full confidence. I think that everyone watching can have the confidence that if they have questions, that you'll help them navigate it, and that you'll help ride us through this very challenging time. So I'm very looking forward to seeing the work in the position and the title that you'll carry. So thanks for making this transition to county smooth, and thanks for all the work that you have done and continue to do for the county. So thank you.
And thank you for not saying 110%, but because I bet as a numbers person that drives you nuts, drives me nuts. So, Councilmember Krueger.
Thank you, Chair. I didn't realize you had nonprofit work in the experience in that. Could you elaborate a bit on what that involved and how that can help with your position here?
Sure. When I left the private sector, I was very interested in finding meaning in the work that I did, and so that's what led me to nonprofits. I got a certificate in nonprofit management from the University of Washington and started working for a few small nonprofits. The first was a nonprofit focused on providing technology building capacity to other nonprofits. And then I spent some time working for the Audubon Society and as well as the Greater Tacoma Community Foundation. I think it's, I've seen perspectives both from the funder side as well as the nonprofit side, seeking grants and constantly having to try to find funding to support your mission. It really helped develop that kind of mission-driven thinking that ultimately led me to public service, which that's why I'm here. I love serving the community that I live in. It's very important to me that that I work here at the county as well as live within the county. So I think having the experience within nonprofits, it helped me to develop an understanding of what it's like from both perspectives, from the provider, the nonprofit, the community organization, as well as the funder, which has I've helped me leverage that experience here at the county.
Very interesting. Were you in the financial aspect of the?
No.
Oh.
No, I did some grant writing, program management. Yeah, not the finance side.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you for an actual question, not digging on anyone. Everybody's comments have been wonderful, but so we'll go to Councilmember Denson.
I will try to come up with a question at some point. I have lots of experience sitting in briefings with Julie related to the budget, and I just am always floored by the grasp you have of all of the information, and you almost always have the answer to any questions we ask. I think very rarely do you need to go back and look into anything. You always have it in your head. It's just so impressive. And your grace and professionalism and just calmness as you present to us. For those of you who are new, it's truly impressive. Very, very grateful that were willing to step up to this position. I have 100% and 110% confidence that you are the one to lead this department and to help us, take the tough and careful look that we're going to have to that we have been, but that we'll continue to have to do on our budget. So thank you for all your work. And my question is, I see that Executive Mello is wearing the appropriate team colors for the Florida Gators today. And I'm wondering who you rooted for last night.
What sport are we talking about?
Great answer. Well, I gave you a hint to the correct answer.
I will say I had Duke as my number one in my bracket.
Okay, but last night it was the Gators in Houston.
I know, I didn't win.
All right, fair enough.
Thanks for asking a question. Okay, Councilmember Morrell.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Appreciate the question, the comments and futile attempt at questions. But I guess my question is, I know how hard you work and how much you pour yourself into this system, what do you do when you're not here that gives you peace?
Well, I'm a mother of two, which doesn't always give me peace. My passion is in the mountains. I am a big backcountry skier and a climber. I don't get to do as much of it as I used to prior to having kids, but I still get out as much as I can. Very avid skier, and I now coach my son's soccer team. So you'll find me doing that a few evenings a week.
Okay. I know that there's that delicate line of work-life balance. Now that you've moved into a department director role, I hope that you and Councilmember Denson get out and do some hiking and go do some exploring together, but you know that that's important. Assembling a good team around you. You had several major mentors leave, and you have to now put together a team that will support you in your effort and that was knowledgeable about the county. So that will be a challenge moving forward. I know with your predecessor, Gary Robinson, you guys had a unique relationship. And, you know, I watched Gary as he navigated rebuilding the sustainability of this county from where it was in 2008, 2010. You know, and I think that's what I've really respected about you and your professional role is sustainability has always been, you know, yeah, we might be able to do that, but no, I don't think we should. As you know, I've sat in many budget discussions, and you're with your calculator adding all the things, crazy things that this council comes up with, and you look at Gary and shake your head slowly and go, it ain't going to work. And there again, the executive also plays heavy into the budget for Pierce County and what they bring forward in their budget, and your ability to say, I don't know if we can afford that. You know, and I hope that you continue to be given that space to use your professionalism and your insight to say, that's a cliff that we don't want to fall off of. So in moving forward, this council needs to understand that fiscal sustainability of this county is of the utmost important. We all have great projects that we think, you know, need investment dollars, but at some point we can't solve it all. And the key thing is, you know, I have said, supporting our personnel, making sure that we have enough in reserve in case we ever come up against another recession, to be able to preserve our valuable employees for a limited time duration. But we can't expend everything we get. And I've always appreciated your position on helping navigate some of the landmines, some of the crazy ideas that we come up with. But you know, I there again, just making sure that you're able to, you know, holistically maintain your, you know, function as an individual that I think is going to be very important. A lot of weight will be on your shoulders, and being able to find an outlet for that is very important. So hopefully I don't add too much to that in the next budget cycle, but we do have to be aware, and there again, I appreciate your ability to keep us out of trouble. And so no matter how great the ideas come from the council or the executive. So anyway, thank you, Madam Chair. Appreciate it, and wholeheartedly support Julie DeMuth for this position. Good choice.
Thank you for all the comments. I actually do have a question. I know, you're all shocked. But I'm wondering, 2 years ago, you kind of led the charge under the guidance and direction of our former executive around collecting data that I think basically created our equity note for the budget. And I'm just wondering if they have started to think about ways to improve that, or if there's been conversations and thinking about how we can do that and get some really good data around it.
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm fortunate to have a really amazing team that does a lot of this work. Our research and data analysis team and our budget and performance teams have been looking at, our equity note process. We've made some modifications to the questions that we're asking in decision packages for the budget process. So our hope is to continue building on some of the progress we made in the last budget cycle. Bring more data to the table so that we're really able to make some data-informed decisions when it comes to the budget, because we know we are going to have limited resources available. So we want to allocate those resources as wisely as possible. So we have made some modifications to this cycle, this budget cycle that will be coming before you later this year. So hopefully we'll have some better information to bring forward to you, both as it pertains to data as well as the equity aspects of decisions.
Okay, thank you. Well, I'm not seeing any other hands raised, so we will go ahead and open this up for a public hearing. If there's anyone in chambers who would like to address the council on Resolution R 2025-130. Not seeing anyone come to the podium, so we will go online.
Yes, Madam Chair. For any members of the public who wish to provide comments on proposal number R 2025-130, press the raise hand icon on Zoom or *9 on your telephone keypad. And Madam Chair, looks like we have one hand at this time. Name is HP. Please state your name for the record. You will have 3 minutes.
I'm Terry Hurd, not HP. Can't seem to change that. I wanted to bring up the point where most of the citizens feel if you work with the money you have, don't plan on saying, I'm short and I need more money, because our taxes go up every year, both here and the state. So please consider being fiscally responsible and conservative. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments.
And at this time, Madam Chair, there are no other hands.
Seeing no other hands, we will close public comment and bring this back before the council, and we'll go to Councilmember Krueger.
Thank you, Chair. I'll make my comments now. I just want to say how much you are appreciated. You have always been calm, cool, and collected when asking information, and I think the equity notes are perfect. You did a great job. I didn't know they could be improved. But I just wanted to say that, numbers don't care about feelings, and they are what they are. And having somebody who is here that knows what is known versus that which is not known, I appreciate that you have the experience and knowledge of how operations are here, and your navigation of it has been, leaves, I'm trying to make sure I word this right, is more than that which can be desired. So you've done an excellent job in this, and so I'm grateful that you are in this position to be the next director. So thank you so much. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you for those comments. Anyone else? Well, I just want to acknowledge and thank you for going through this process, and the executive team for having a process and making sure that you really did this a robust look to really make sure that the cream rose to the top. So thank you, Ms. DeMuth, and we're looking forward to working quite intensely with you this year. So seeing no other comments, can the clerk please call the roll on the adoption of R 2025-130?
Councilmember Denson?
Excused.
Councilmember Yambe?
Aye.
Councilmember Ayala?
Aye.
Councilmember Krueger?
Aye.
Councilmember Morrell?
Aye.
Councilmember Hitchin?
Aye.
Have 5 ayes and 0 nays.
With 5 ayes, the motion is adopted. Thank you very much. And we are going to take a quick picture. But congratulations, Ms. DeMuth. Awesome, thank you. Okay, we are going back to the consent agenda for my three community members that are waiting to be appointed. We had resolution 2025-131. Councilmember Herrera was the person who did this. Is somebody willing to move this one? It's on the consent agenda. Councilmember Yambe or Councilmember Morel? Councilmember Yambe?
Okay. So we're 131, right? Okay. All right. I move that we pass proposal number R 2025-131.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve resolution 2025-131. Can the clerk please read?
Proposal number R 2025-131, a resolution of the Pierce County Council confirming the appointment of one new member, Natalia Britton, to the Commission on Refugee and Immigrant Affairs.
Thank you. Natalia, we see you online. If you'd like to turn your camera on and unmute yourself and introduce yourself to the council, we appreciate you stepping up and waiting while we went through our processes, if you're still here with us. And she may have stepped away because it has been an hour since we started the meeting. There we are. Natalia, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Natalia Britton, and I am currently an employee of Pierce College in Puyallup. And I'm very bad at these introductions.
Well, thankfully, this immigration and refugee affairs appointment process is not about how well you can introduce yourself, but how well you can be a voice for community members. So I appreciate you being willing to step up. I'm going to see if any of my colleagues have any questions for you.
Absolutely.
I'm not seeing anyone. So we have a formal process where we're going to open this up for a public hearing, and then we will vote on it, and then you're officially on the board. So let me go ahead and open this up for a public hearing. If anyone would like to provide comment on resolution 2025-131, please raise your hand in Zoom or come to the podium. I'm not seeing anyone in chambers, so we'll go to Zoom.
Yes, Madam Chair. For any members of the public who wish to provide comments on proposal number R 2025-131, press the raise hand icon in Zoom or *9 on your telephone keypad. And I see no hands, Madam Chair.
With no hands raised, we'll bring this back before the council. Any further comments? Then I will ask the clerk to call the roll on resolution 2025-131.
Councilmember Ayala?
Aye.
Councilmember Yambe?
Aye.
Councilmember Morel?
Aye.
Councilmember Krueger?
Aye.
Councilmember Hitchin?
Aye.
I have 5 ayes, 0 nays.
With 5 ayes and 0 nays, the motion is adopted. Congratulations, Natalia. Thank you for waiting so long, and we look forward to seeing the work of this group.
Thank you so much.
That brings us to proposal R 2025-134. Councilmember Krueger for a motion.
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to move for approval, R 2025-134.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt R 2025-134. Can the clerk please read?
Proposal number R 2025-134, a resolution of the Pierce County Council confirming the appointment of 2 new members, Eric Johnson and Raynalyn Rose Robles, and reappointment of 2 existing members, Adam Cook and Jose Molando, to the Pierce County Tourism Promotion Area Hotel Commission.
Thank you. And we see several of you online. If you want to turn on your cameras and unmute. Eric, I see your name first.
Good afternoon, Chair Hitchin. Can you all hear me okay?
We can.
Yeah, so good afternoon, Chair Hitchin and the Pierce County Council. My name is Eric Johnson. I'm the City of Puyallup Public Affairs Officer, and I'm honored to be appointed today to be the City Ex Officio position on the the Pierce County Tourism Promotion Area Hotel Commission. So I have been here in this role at the City of Puyallup for about 4 years now. And my wife and I are proud residents of Tacoma in Pierce County. We just love this area. I'm kind of from Oregon originally. So I have over 10 years of experience in the government communications field. And then prior to that, I have several years of experience in the destination marketing organization or DMO industry. So I am happy to be joining this commission and offering my advice and guidance to this commission. So thank you.
Thank you for saying yes. Jose, how about you?
Good afternoon, Chair Hitchin and council members. Thank you so much for having me. I am the general manager of the Hilton Garden Inn, Tacoma Downtown. I have been with this committee since 23. I took over for the previous GM here. So this is my first term. I do love the city of Tacoma, and I do think that hospitality is one of the foundations of economic prosperity. And I take pride in managing a wonderful organization, a wonderful team to provide great service to the guests and people who visit our county.
Thank you very much. Adam.
Thank you very much, Chair Hitchin and council members. For the record, my name is Adam Cook, and I am the Director for Tacoma Venues and Events with the City of Tacoma, where I have the fantastic role of being able to oversee both the city and the county's largest indoor public gathering venues. Grateful to be appointed here for the ex officio second city seat. Tourism is really at the core of what we do with the Greater Tacoma Convention Center, the Tacoma Dome. It is really all about driving heads and beds and folks into our community. So I look forward to participating in the TPA and joining in to provide some insight where I can.
Thank you very much. I will look to my colleagues to see if anyone has questions for any of these appointees. Say it again. Rain. Oh, Rain, there you are.
Yes. Good
Thank
afternoon,
you.
Chair Hitchin and council members. I am Raynalyn Rose Robles. I am the hotel manager of Town Place Suites by Marriott Tacoma Lakewood. I am pleased to have the opportunity to represent Lakewood to help guide the use of the tourism funds for the promotion of Pierce County. I would like to express how thankful I am and hope that you will consider my appointment. Thank you.
Thank you, and I apologize that I missed you. I was looking for the full name, and so thank you, Councilmember Krueger. Councilmember Burrell.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would just like to compliment everyone that's stepped forward. This is an important role as directing this county to make sure we maximize tourism in our community. And within the hotels, as it was stated, heads and beds is very important to get that influx of dollars to our community. It really helps generate economic development. A lot of our small little businesses benefit from all the events that are staged throughout the county. And so I appreciate all the work and the energy that goes into this committee. Also, this is a question for Adam Cook. When is Taylor Swift coming back to town?
Thank you for that one, Councilmember Morrell. I am hopeful very soon, although I think she's probably still got a few stadium tours left in her before she comes back to the indoor buildings.
Okay, a couple of, council staff wanted to know, so I thought I'd ask. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you for the question. Councilmember Krueger.
Thank you, Chair. And I would say we'll make sure that Ms. Swift comes to Thunfield as opposed to the Tacoma Narrows this time. I just wanted to say what a joy it is to work with the TPAC and the LTAC. And there's nothing but the best and brightest that is there. And the ideas that come forth and the projects they go through are phenomenal. And I'm very privileged to be exposed to such smart people when it comes to this venue. So thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Well, I'm not seeing any other hands. We thank you all for saying yes to adding one more meeting to your schedules and for really being voices for your communities. We are going to open this up to a public hearing. If there's anyone in the public that would like to provide comment on Resolution 2025-134, please come to the podium. No one in chambers, so we will go online.
Yes, Madam Chair. For any members of the public who wish to provide comments on proposal number R 2025-134, press the raise hand icon in Zoom or star 9 on your telephone keypad. And I see no hands, Madam Chair.
Seeing no hands, we'll close public comment and bring it back before the council. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Councilmember Cruver?
Aye.
Councilmember Morrell?
Aye.
Councilmember Ayala?
Aye.
Councilmember Yambe?
Aye.
Councilmember Hitchin?
Aye.
5 ayes, 0 nays.
With 5 ayes and 0 nays, the motion is adopted. Thank you very much for your willingness to serve. That brings us back to our regularly scheduled agenda, which now we are on Proposal R 2025-112. Can we go to Councilmember Yambe for a motion? It's number. Oh, let me turn your mic.
That would help. All right. I move to pass proposal number R 2025-112.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt Resolution 2025-112. Can the clerk please read?
Proposal number R 2025-112, a resolution of the Pierce County Council approving the 2025 Pierce County Historic Preservation Grant Fund disbursement as recommended by the Pierce County Landmarks and Historic Preservation Commission.
Thank you very much. And we have Mr. Swanson to introduce.
Thank you, Chair Hitchin. The resolution before you is the annual authorization of the distribution of historic preservation grants funds. Pierce County Historic Preservation Grants Program is funded through the $1 portion of the $5 per instrument surcharge collected at the auditor's office. These funds are allocated to support the preservation of historic buildings and documents and other cultural assets. The program is administered by Planning and Public Works with the help of the Landmarks and Historic Preservation Commission, which does review all the applications that come in, and then from the commission is the recommendations, the recommended funding levels you are seeing before you today. The $1, what we call the HDOC fee, is accounted for in the Historic Preservation and Programs Fund for the year 2024-2025 for the biennium. This body did budget $450 for the biennium. Last year, the council approved resolution R 2024-121, which did award $299,556 of those dollars to 18 applications for the 2024 program cycle. Obviously, this left about $180,000 remaining. The budget also did anticipate $452,800 in $1 HDOC fee revenue. As of January 31st, we had received about 30.5% of that money coming in, so a little lower than anticipated. You'll also note we're allocating about $80,000 less between the 2 years. There are also some charges for staffing and that sit in that fund too, so it's not purely $80,000. There's also about an estimated, I should note the money doesn't necessarily go out in the year that the program is here for. It can also go out in the next year, but we are anticipating about $15,000 of last year's funding not going out the door, so that $299,000 will be closer to about $285,000. With that, that's just a way of that's a long way of getting to, even though revenue is coming in less than expected. Talked to finance staff and council staff has looked at this. We are confident that $100,000 can be covered within the fund for this calendar year program. The Landmarks Historic Preservation Commission is recommending. Well, I should note, 26 eligible applications had come in requesting $524,541. Which is far above the funding we do have available, but the Landmarks and Historic Preservation Commission did diligent work in going through those applications and is recommending partial funding for 20 of those projects for a total of $100,000. In your written staff report, there's a section called Public Process Timeline that details not only the process of public hearings here for the legislative side of it, but the process that the Landmarks and Historic Preservation Commission went through in receiving applications, reviewing, interviewing applicants, and then bringing these recommendations before this body. Also attached to your staffing report, there are two attachments to that document. The first one is a table with the average score for each of the applications that come in, all 26, including the 20 that are recommended for funding. So you'll see the request, the amount being recommended, and then the average score for each one of those. And then there's a second attachment in your packet that just gives a 2 to 3 sentence description of each project for a quick reference. We do have, not obviously in your packet, as it'd be quite voluminous, but we do have all the applications available if there's any individual application a member wanted to review. With that, there's also an equity analysis has been conducted and is included in your packet. The specific proposal does a no or de minimis fiscal impact because it's a releasing of funds that were already authorized in the budget. A public hearing was held in EIDC on March 25th, where this proposal did receive a do pass as recommended recommendation. And with that, Madam Chair, I believe Becca Book from Long Range Planning is on the call, and then also you have council staff available to answer any questions.
Thank you very much. I will see if anybody has any questions of either Ms. Book or anyone else. I'm not seeing anyone indicating they have a question. I know that there was a good conversation during EIDC around this, and some of the project details were shared a little bit more specificity. So seeing no questions, we will go ahead and move to a public hearing. At this time, I'd like to invite members of the public to provide comment on Resolution 2025-112. We do have one member signed up in chambers. There could be others, so we'll start in chambers if you would like to come to the podium, and then we will go online. And just remember to state your name for the record if you'd like it on the record, and you have 3 minutes.
Good afternoon. I'm Priscilla Lisicich, and I live in Tacoma, and I'm a member of the Historic Slavonian Hall, and we were fortunate enough to be recommended for funding. It just was so wonderful to be at the presentation and hear of all the wonderful projects that are going on in our community, so we feel quite honored to have made the list. And we are dedicating our efforts. We started about 2.5 years ago to raise funds to restore and preserve the Slavonian Hall that's located at 2306 North 30th Street in Old Town, Tacoma. Immigrants that came from the southern Slav country, which is now Croatia, settled in this area in the late 1800s into the 1900s. And when they came here, bringing their trade of fishing and boat building and mining, people settled in that area and finally decided that they not only wanted to form an organization for camaraderie, but also to support other members of their community who needed support and help. And they then, in 1901, decided to, 1906, made the decision to erect the building. So it's about a 9,200 square foot building. It is used and rented at least 3 times a month by the general public in the South Sound area, predominantly Pierce County. So it really benefits Pierce County residents. This is an exciting project for us. We're about 1/3 of the way in our fundraising to restore and preserve the hall. We're starting with installing a fire and sprinkler system, which this hall is made out of wood. And so we're like so thrilled that we will have that protection. The funds that we requested from Pierce County were to help us with the exterior, which is very important to us as a historic building on the National Register, that we maintain the look and the integrity of the building. And so the funds would be used to support the west wall siding, asbestos removal and replacement of the siding and restoration of that wall. So very excited about this and appreciate your support, and we're just honored again to be able to be a part of it. And I forgot to say my role. I'm president of the Historic Slavonian Hall Foundation, and our job is to be dedicated to raising these funds and making sure that the building is maintained and goes on into the future for the next 118 years. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else in chambers on this topic? Seeing none, we will go online. Mr. Weinsberry.
Yes, Madam Chair. For any members of the public who wish to provide comments on proposal number R 2025-112, press the raise hand icon in Zoom or star 9 on your telephone keypad. And at this time, Madam Chair, we have one hand. We have two hands. First one is going to be Foothills Coalition. Please state your name for the record. You will have 3 minutes.
Hi, can you hear me?
We can.
Wonderful. Good afternoon, council members. My name is Brianna Folks, and I have the honor of serving as the executive director of the Foothills Rails to Trails Coalition. I'm here today in strong support of the Historical Preservation Grant recommendation for our Buckley Foothills Trailhead project. This project is more than just an infrastructure. It's a space where community, history, and nature come together. The Doc Tate Pavilion, which is a part of this project, will serve as a gathering place and a storytelling space where visitors can connect with Buckley's heritage, from the days of railroads and logging to the beauty and ecology of the White River Plateau. With this support, we can ensure these stories are not only preserved, but experienced by more than 1 million people who walk, run, and roll along the Foothills Trail each year. This is about honoring where we've been while also inspiring future generations. So thank you so much for your consideration of this important investment in our shared history and community.
Next, Madam Chair, we have last name Ott. Please state your name for the record. You will have 3 minutes. Excuse me. Let me change that around. There we go.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Ott. I am the executive director at HistoryLink. And I just wanted to speak in support of our Pierce County Writing Our History project. So we've been doing this for several years with generous support from the Landmarks Commission and the county. And it makes a huge difference in building our content about Pierce County on HistoryLink, which is the online encyclopedia of Washington State history. And the benefits that we provide are that we have free online access available 24/7. And it also helps support a community of writers in Pierce County. We work with a group of writers that we meet with bi-monthly to develop ideas for new content and for cultivating relationships and identifying what types of stories we should be telling. And as a result, we have a great body of information about Pierce County that we're continually building upon. And funding like this from the county makes a huge difference. It gives us a platform to build upon and to reach out to other potential funders in the community that would like to support us. And so I just wanted to say thank you very much for considering our request.
And at this time, Madam Chair, I see no other hands.
Seeing no other hands, we'll close public comment on this resolution, bring it back before the council. Any further comments? I'm not seeing any. I want to start with end with a thank you to the Landmarks and Historic Preservation Commission, those volunteers that read through all of these and had to make some tough decisions on how well to spread. I'm going to use peanut butter as an example, like how well to spread the peanut butter when they had limited dollars. They had really wonderful projects and had to figure out how best to fund as many as they could. And I know they are volunteers, and then the staff that help guide them on that work. Thank you for that. So glad to have this before us, and we will ask the clerk to please call the roll on Resolution 2025-112.
Councilmember Yambe?
Aye.
Councilmember Krueger?
Aye.
Councilmember Morel?
Aye.
Councilmember Ayala?
Aye.
Councilmember Hitchin?
Aye.
5 ayes, 0 nays.
With 5 ayes and 0 nays, the motion is adopted. That brings us to Resolution R 2025-124. Councilmember, looking for your name, Yambe, for a motion.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that we pass proposal number R 2025-124.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt Resolution 2025-124. Can the clerk please read?
Proposal number R 2025-124, a resolution of the Pierce County Council approving additional positions in the Aging and Disability Resources Division of the Human Services Department.
Thank you. Mr. Boki to brief.
Thank you, Chair Hitchin, Paul Boki, Council staff. In the biennial budget, there is Section 14 that states that no department may employ or authorize the employment of personnel beyond the designated number without prior approval by the County Council through a resolution or ordinance. As a result of the growing Medicaid caseload, the Aging and Long-Term Care ADR Division of Pierce County Human Services is requesting the approval of 5 additional positions to meet the staffing requirements outlined in the Title 19 Medicaid grant. These positions are necessary beyond those that were originally budgeted in the ordinance to comply with the terms of the grant and to ensure that services to low-income seniors are not compromised. The positions requested are 1 case manager supervisor and 4 case managers. The Aging and Long-Term Care Resources Division serves as a designated area and agency on aging for Pierce County. The ADR Division has been awarded Title 19 Medicaid funding, a grant designed to provide essential services to low-income seniors within the county. The funding was accepted in July 2024 and incorporated into the 2024-25 biennial budget through Ordinance 2024-568S2, and that was a supplemental. The ADR Division is currently experiencing a growing Medicaid caseload, and the Title 19 Medicaid funding has a staffing formula linked to the caseload growth. To ensure compliance with the requirements of the Title 19 Medicaid award and maintain the level of service necessary, the ADR Division must increase staffing. The caseload requirement is no higher than 75 FTEs per case manager. The current caseload, and this was as of March, is 6,320 with 91 caseload managers. And for those of you doing math at home, that would be 69.4 per full-time equivalent employee. The issue is the projected 2025 year-end caseload is 6,782 or 74.5 per FTE. This is 400 cases greater than originally projected. The caseloads are complicated by the need for some case managers to carry a smaller load because they work with very complex cases. 7 case managers currently work with an average of 5 complex cases. So it can be 75 up to 75 per FTE, but you've got a number of employees who work with only 5, so you can see the complexity of these cases. 5 case managers carry half caseloads. There's also a need to absorb staff turnover and still stay within the caseload standards. Now, I know you've received some recent, last week at Human Services, you got a lot of information about the aging population. I would note that the caseload numbers did not break 6,000 until, from what I can tell from Open Pierce County, May of 2024. So you're already looking at over 6,300 cases. You've already had 5% growth in less than a year. And by the end of the year, you'll be at another 5-6% growth. So you can see this is a rapidly evolving situation. This was given a due pass recommendation at the March 31st, 2025 Rules and Operations Committee meeting. And Mr. Aaron Van Valkenburg from our Aging and Disability, he's the Aging and Disabilities Resources Division Manager, is here to speak to this resolution and to answer your questions.
Thank you for the introduction. Aaron, do you have anything to add to? And if you do have anything to say, you got to come to the podium. So.
Good afternoon, Chair Hitchen and council members. Aaron Van Valkenburg, Division Manager with Aging and Disability Resources in the Human Services Department. I really don't have much to add. I think that's a very accurate report of the current situation. We have just experienced growth beyond what we originally projected. We'd projected growth, and this is beyond what we had originally projected when the biennial budget was established. And otherwise, no, the staff report is accurate. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Hang out there in case we have questions and we need to phone a friend. We'll go to Councilmember Morrell.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And this might go to Mr. Boki or to Eric. This, the funding for these 5 positions, can you explain that to me again, where it's coming from? And are these going to be full-time employees, not limited duration? How can you explain that to me?
Certainly. Correct. They are full-time employees. They're not limited duration. They'll be funded 100% out of this Title 19 Medicaid grant, which is a per member per month or a unit rate contract that we have with DSHS. So as the caseload grows, as was outlined, the revenue grows along with it so that you can add the additional staff to meet these caseload requirements.
Okay, so your funding comes from the state?
Correct. It comes through the state. It's Medicaid funding that comes through DSHS, correct.
Okay. If there, for some reason, something happens to that funding stream, what happens to your staff?
Yeah, I mean, if the funding were to change or decrease, we would have to adjust, with that, or I assume they would make an adjustment to our contract. Right now, we have no reason to believe that funding is going to change, so we're staffing accordingly per the current contract.
Okay. There again, I just want to make sure that I understand the funding part of this, that it's not something coming out of the general fund, that it's DSHS driven by federal Medicaid on, what is it, Title 19?
Title 19, correct. 100% funded by Title 19. Yes.
Okay. As long as I understand that, then I support it. Thank you.
Thank you for the questions and the explanation. It was my question as well, just asking in case Medicaid changes. Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, we are going to open this up to a public hearing. If there's any member of the public that would like to provide comments on R 2025-124, please come to the podium. Not seeing anyone in chambers, so we will go online.
Yes, Madam Chair. For any members of the public who wish to provide comments on proposal number R 2025-124, press the raise hand icon in Zoom or *9 on your telephone keypad. And I see no hands, Madam Chair.
With no hands raised, we will close public comment and bring this back before the body. Any further discussion? Then I will ask the clerk to call the roll on resolution 2025-124 for adoption.
Councilmember Ayala?
Aye.
Councilmember Krueger?
Aye.
Councilmember Yambe?
Aye.
Councilmember Morrell?
Aye.
Councilmember Hitchen?
Aye.
5 ayes, 0 nays.
With 5 ayes and 0 nays, the motion is adopted. Thank you for all getting this through. And that brings us to item number 4. Councilmember Morrell, do you have a motion?
Okay. I move for approval proposal number 2025-133.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt resolution 2025-133. Can the clerk please read?
Proposal number R 2025-133, a resolution of the Pierce County Council setting the date of an evening District Number 1 council meeting from Monday, April 28, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. at Crystal Mountain Resort, 33914 Crystal Mountain Boulevard, Enumclaw, Washington.
Thank you. And Ms. Long to introduce.
Thank you. So the Pierce County Charter provides that the council shall conduct at least one evening meeting in each of the 7 districts each year. And your council rules of procedure provide that the specific time, place, and dates of these evening meetings be established by the adoption of a resolution. So tonight, the resolution before you does just that for the District 1 meeting. Details as stated by the clerk and in the title. 6:30 on Monday, April 28th at Crystal Mountain. And I will just note that this District 1 meeting will be held in addition to the regular Tuesday meeting on April 29th that same week. Thank you.
Thank you. I believe we actually have 3 council meetings that week and a co-located meeting with the Port of Tacoma on another day. So it's going to be a week, everybody. Are there any comments on said meeting? Councilmember Morrell.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I appreciate the representative from District 7 being absent. I think there again, I can't let District 7 have the longest distance for an in-district meeting. So I chose the highest point in Pierce County to have a District 1 meeting. As you know, Crystal Mountain is the largest ski resort in the state of Washington. And they just built a brand new lodge up there. I appreciate PCTV for giving me the thumbs up that they could, thank you, that they could actually do a remote meeting from Crystal Mountain. And we have a great agenda that will help everyone understand why Crystal Mountain is important to the economy of Pierce County, both as a resort, but also as a protector of the environment on the mountain. And so it'll be great, and you will have the gondola available, so you could take the gondola up to the highest restaurant in Pierce County, even though it will be closed. So anyway, hopefully the weather will hold and we'll all have a great time. So thank you for the opportunity to showcase Crystal Mountain in District 1. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there other questions or comments? Seeing none, I'm going to open this up for a public hearing. If anyone would like to address the council on Resolution 2025-133, please come to the podium. See, on this resolution? Oh, okay.
Sorry, but I just had to. I'm a dedicated skier, Priscilla Lisicich, and there are many dedicated skiers here in Pierce County. We have a bus that goes every Tuesday and every Thursday in the winter season up to Crystal to ski. Crystal's staff is fabulous in working with us, so I just think it's terrific that you're having a meeting there, and it is a fast-growing, beautiful area, and it's a hot item in Pierce County. So, thank you.
Thank you for the comments.
And I used to be a skier, but I broke my leg.
We want to hear that.
Okay.
Not at that lodge.
Okay. We will go online for public comment on Resolution 2025-133.
Yes, Madam Chair. For the members of the public who should provide comments on proposal number R 2025-133, press the raise hand icon on Zoom or *9 on your telephone keypad. And I see no hands, Madam Chair.
No hands raised. We'll close public comment, bring it back before the full council. Any further comments? Well, I am looking forward to it. I have not been to Crystal Mountain since I was a teenager when I had to drive my brother for ski school, and it was not fun at 4 in the morning. So this will be much more enjoyable. So we will call the roll on adoption of R 2025-133.
Councilmember Krueger?
Aye.
Councilmember Ayala?
Aye.
Councilmember Morrell?
Aye.
Councilmember Yambe?
Aye.
Councilmember Hitchin?
Aye.
5 ayes, 0 nays.
With 5 ayes and 0 nays, the motion is adopted. We're all going to Crystal Mountain. Okay. There are no ordinance on our agenda this afternoon, so that brings us to section 10, which is community forum. Community forum is an opportunity for members of the public to address the council on any topic of significance or affecting Pierce County government that did not appear on the council agenda for final action today. There is a 3-minute limit, and we'd ask that you state your name if you'd like it on the record. We will start in chambers and then move to Zoom. So if anyone would like to address the council today.
Good afternoon, Council. And this is my first time in front of many of you. I'm Dana Coggin. I'm the Executive Director for the Pierce Conservation District. Excited to see the great changes that have happened here at the Council, but also really excited about the in-district meeting. But I'd like to ask, is there going to be a bus? Because she just said there was a bus that goes up to Crystal. So can we take that? Public transit? Okay, all right.
We got that.
Okay, all right, good. All right, I'm not here to speak about that, but I am here to speak about the Conservation District. And I wanted to say thank you for the proclamation earlier today. I know you probably can't tell, but I'm wearing my carrot shirt to give kind of an homage to the food waste issues that we deal with throughout the community. As a representative of the district, but also a community member here in Pierce County, I greatly appreciate the efforts that we are going to actually make sure that food does not go into our landfills. Wanted to also share with you a couple of things about the Conservation District that you might not know is that when we harvest some of that food, we can turn it into cider. So we turn it into cider, and then some of the food we actually also goes into the bacon. So we make the bacon because if there's extra fruit around that can't be harvested for human consumption, we actually take that out to local farmers. Wanted to quickly highlight that the Conservation District does many things within our community. And as a community driving force, we are here to help you. Our work is never done. We do environmental work, we do agricultural work, and we do literally work at every single day of the week that you can think of to help preserve what we believe is making Pierce County great, which is educating our community members, helping our farmers, and saving our farms, food, fish, and friends. So just wanted to take a brief minute just to say thank you all for all of your support. I will be back to talk about rates and charges at some point. I know that we are in a very interesting economic time, so I don't want it to be missed that there are different ways that different organizations gather funding to do the good work that we do. One of the great things that we do is that we have an agreement with the Conservation District and the county to get rates and charges for the work that we do within our region. So just to give a prep, there's also some things happening down at the state legislature that I want to bring up to this council before it maybe makes its way all the way through, is that we are actually working with the State Conservation Commission to work on adjusting our rates and charges through some state statute work. So that being also said, there's plenty of opportunities for you to get involved at the Conservation District. It is Earth Month, so if you are interested in any of our classes, I know that Councilmember Kruger, we've got you, I think, signed up for our biochar class that will come up a little bit later this month. And then this weekend, we have a couple of other events that you can come to and join us. And then April 19th, I know is a big day for everybody, but we have at least 6 events that you can join us at. I will try to be at most of them to get selfies, but I probably will not be at all 6 of them to get selfies. So I'll have a proxy selfie taker. But other than that, I just wanted to say thank you. I'm excited about the opportunity to also work with the new finance director that you put into place this evening. In doing our finances, I know that finances are no fun, but they can always be created in a way that makes it understandable to others. So thank you very much for all of your hard work. And
thank you. We will, anyone else in chambers? Just wanted to check. Okay, we will go online for community forum.
Yes, Madam Chair. For any members of the public who wish to provide comments, press the raise hand icon in Zoom or *9 on your telephone keypad. Madam Chair, we have one hand this time. HP, please state your name for the record. You'll have 3 minutes.
Terry Hood. Madam Chairman, I wanted to say God gave us a lovely flying day for the Puyallup Parade. And I had 2 questions on that. I didn't see any high school floats, which was, there were very few folks, which grandkids and I were unhappy about. And I did not see any of my elected representatives from the 7 districts in an automobile going by waving at everybody. I'm just making a comment. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Mr. Hurd.
And Madam Chair, I see no other hands.
With no other hands raised, we will close community forum, bring it back before the council. Is there any other business or announcements this afternoon? She's like, Councilmember Ayala.
Thank you, Chair. I did just want to know, I did a little bit of math on our food waste, and with everything that we waste a year, we would be able to feed 43.33 million people breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And so it's a very sobering reminder of how important us paying attention to what we waste is, because it could be going somewhere else.
Definitely could be. Well, thank you, everybody, and thank you for doing math. Okay, Councilmember Morell. Did you do math as well?
No,
Okay.
I'm not going there. My math has always been off. Thank you, Madam Chair. But to follow up on the comments that my colleague said pertaining to food waste, if any of you really want to take a tour, go down to Cascadia Produce, and they're right behind Emerald Downs in Auburn, actually. But the amount of food that they are able to collect there is amazing. They got a great team that separates, and all the brokers, food brokers, and of course all food is brokered, and that make contact with Jeremy and Jill, his wife that was here. I mean, they run 24/7 because they're the only ones that have a dock high building that they could empty a semi in. And so Jeremy, God bless him, will get a call at 2 a.m. that they got a load of whatever it is. Can you take it from me? And he will go down there and take it off the semi and then credit the farmer for that purchase, instead of the farmer losing those funds because the truck driver's got to get rid of that load. They will, at least the farmer gets something out of it, because if Costco, Fred Meyer, whoever rejects the load, they get nothing. And so that load that came up from California is now being basically sent somewhere else to sit in a landfill if they can't find someone to buy it. So it's a great, unique opportunity that I did not know existed out there as someone who rescues food. And so anytime you want to go see how a warehouse full of food works, it's a great operation down there. So thank you for doing the math, something I didn't have to do. But thank you, Madam Chair. Appreciate the opportunity to comment.
Thank you for the comments. And I will add, I had the opportunity this weekend to be at the Emergency Food Network when they were doing what they call Surprise Day, where they were unpacking processed food that had been turned in, and we were just sorting it. And it was basically, you'd open up a bin and it would be syrup, water, flour, and dog food all in one bin, and then you go to the next one, it would be something else. And we unpacked and organized about 5,200 pounds of food in about an hour and a half with some volunteers from the Parkland Spanaway Blue Zones project. So it was good, and it was eye-opening to see. And none of that was fresh, and that's one of the things that's so fantastic about these food waste programs, is that it's the fresh foods. We have some systems for food that's processed. We didn't have a system for fresh food, and it was truly just going to landfill. So appreciate that. I will do a reminder that a little over 24 hours tomorrow night, we will be in Lakewood at the McGavick Center for my in-district. It's the first of the 7 in-districts we will host this year. Looking forward to a good conversation around public health, and I'm hoping to have a good meeting. So is there any other business before us today? Seeing no other business, we are adjourned. Have a wonderful afternoon.